what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to discuss a few things going on this week in PSO2 with the update. I would also like to respect my viewers' precious time, so be sure to use the timestamp chapters in the video playbar, as well in the video description, to help you get the info you need from this video faster. Back to your day. So one thing I wanted to point out real quick right away is this week we have a boost campaign going on that has been added. It's going to be Enhancement success rate 20%, Augmentation success rate 5%. This is going to last all the way up until October 3rd as well, so it should be the entire duration of the seasonal event that's going on. So definitely go out there and get one of the seasonal event weapons and level it up to plus 70. That way so you'll do a lot of extra damage. Okay, so this week we did get a new limited time quest that's been added, as well there's also a seasonal point shop too. So we're going to go over some of the information here. This is called Drill Unidentified Region A32. And you can actually see per run you're going to get around 25,000 seasonal points per clear. Down in the bottom right there's actually a ranking, throwing objects and as well like dodging attacks. We'll give a little bit more to the score ranking. It really doesn't matter if you score first or if you score 8th place though, because you can see it's just like a difference of like 300 points. It's really not a big deal. But when it comes to the items inside of here, there's actually some pretty good stuff that you can possibly get inside the run. So we finally have the Octa Armor Sheza that's been added, and the Octa Armor Sheza, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty certain that this is probably going to be extremely rare, just like the Octa Armor Arga and the Octa Armor Delta was. So it's actually pretty worth running the limited time quest though, just because of the fact that you get the seasonal points per run. There's also some other goodies in here, like the Tissas can possibly drop, which are probably at an atrocious rate too. Hardly anybody's going to get these, I'm sure. There's also some other items in here that are probably going to drop at a pretty decent rate, which will be like the Arms Refiner 2, and there's also like some LC capsules and stuff. Now, a really big highlight is the fact that you can actually get the Autumn 23 SP Scratch tickets in here, which we have an Autumn 23 SP Scratch that's been added to the game too. We'll go over that here shortly as well. There's some really nice stuff inside of there. So it's actually pretty worth to run the limited time quest right now, just because you can get these tickets and you can also possibly get like the Tissa or the Sheza and stuff if you get like super lucky. And the Arms Refiner 2 actually has like a pretty decent rate, so you stock up on those as well. And the seasonal points and everything. It's just all around pretty good. It's a fun little quest to run. It's 8 players. At the end of the video, I'm going to go ahead and show you all a run of it that I did, just so you can get an idea. But here you can see that Xitre has been added to the game again with the seasonal shop, and Xitre actually has some pretty nice stuff inside the seasonal shop this go around. There's actually some SP Scratch tickets that you can work towards getting here. There's also like a build part for a hologram. There's a Captain Crown, which is like the Emperor Rappy's like little crown that's on top of the Emperor Rappy's head. That's pretty nice. And as well, there's also a stamp inside of here. You can see what the stamp looks like right there on the screen. And something really cool that I like a lot was they added the Nimbus Cloud from Dragon Ball. The Cloud Riding V is actually in the seasonal point shop. It even has the amber color, just like the Dragon Ball Nimbus. You know, it looks just like the Nimbus Cloud from Dragon Ball, so that's pretty nice. And then there's also the VG, which is the Vital Gauge for Halfia Plains. And you can actually see what this looks like right here on page 2 where I'm showing you. It's just like a little background with like Central City Tower or whatever. And inside the scratch there's also like some star gems, and there's these Sync weapons, which these are extremely powerful. Definitely like try to get one of these for your main class that you're playing. Something else that's really cool about the seasonal quest going on right now is Leciel actually has seasonal enemies, and we're going to go ahead and jump into that here in a moment too. But this is actually really nice to use the seasonal weapons and any of the content you're doing that has the seasonal enemies. They should actually be stronger than anything else in the game, because you can look and see the potential on these. Gives 26% potency, as well critical hit rate 10%, damage resistance 10%, and then it has this augment on here for the seasonal too, which gives an additional 20% potency, 35% crit rate, and damage resistance 30%. So these are going to be huge. These are going to be massive for running Leciel. These are going to be massive for running a limited time quest or any other content that you're doing that has seasonal enemies. So definitely make sure that you deck out one of these, and it's already limit broke too in potential 6 and everything, so really all you have to do is this maybe slap like an extra augment on it if you want to. Like you could change around some of these augments. Some of these augments are kind of meh. But you could just slap one of these to plus 70 by using Gold Prim Sword 2s, and you can take one up to plus 70 relatively easy. You can see it's already limit broke and everything. So this is going to be a really strong weapon to use for the entire month of September. So definitely make sure you get a hold of one of those. Now something else that was pretty interesting too is inside the seasonal shop, we also have Ajax armor in here. And you can see the Ajax armor comes with some pretty decent augments on them too. Like you could change out some of the stuff like the Aldomina wouldn't be all that great. You could change that out for something else. But you see that these are already limit broke as well. They could actually just be taken right away to plus 70 if this is something you want to use. I would suggest really not wasting resources taking these to 70 though. I would just suggest getting a hold of the Octa armor from running Leciel. These are just kind of like some filler things, and the Leciel stuff is really the gear that you should honestly go for. But these are pretty good. And a nice little mention too, you can see I've already bought mine, but you can actually purchase 200 alpha reactors in here too, which is a good little chunk of Basetta as well. So it's never a bad thing to get a hold of that. Okay, so as mentioned before, you can see right here, Leciel actually has seasonal player points. You can actually get seasonal points for running Leciel right now too. So all the enemies inside of Leciel actually have seasonal markers, which means the seasonal weapon, the Alsync, actually works inside of Leciel, and it's going to be huge for having damage resistance as well as damage output too. So this is going to be really good. Anybody that needs to run Leciel, you're actually going to be getting seasonal points, and it's going to be a lot easier to actually just clear the quest in general, because you're going to have a super OP weapon that's going to make things much easier. So definitely make sure if you're wanting to gear up, hit Leciel, you use your seasonal weapon. You can get in there and get all those Leciel capsules and the Octa armors and your birch weapon and all that stuff. So one more thing I did want to mention, there's a limited time task that's been added along with a limited time quest. And you can see it's just for running the limited time quest every day. It's going to give you an Autumn 23 SP scratch ticket. So you want to make sure that you go out there and do at least one run a day just so you get this ticket reward. It's just a daily. So as I mentioned before, there is the Autumn 23 special scratch that's been added to the game. So you want to make sure you do your daily tasks of the limited time quest so you get at least one of these tickets a day running that. And then while you're running it, you also might get some inside of the prize list to clear. Now in the prize list of this scratch, there's actually some really nice camos in here. They actually have the steampunk camo that I had mentioned previously. And you can see that it's going to look different on each individual weapon type. This is what the katana looks like here, because that's what my weapon is on my back currently. You can see like some steam comes out of the end of it and stuff. Sadly, this one wasn't a color variant. I wish it was a color variant, but some of these other camos that got added all have like color variants to them, which changes the color of your like photon art stuff, which is always a cool thing. A lot of these are like base PSO2 weapons, and then they also did some NGS weapons too. They did the 3 different series styles of the Arks weapons here, and you can see that they're all like color variants too. So this scratch is actually like pretty cool. There's some pretty nice little prizes that you can get inside of here. Some of these camos look really nice. Definitely something worth running throughout the month of September to try to get a hold of some of these things here. So we have a pretty interesting campaign going on this week, and this is going to be for leveling up 3 different classes in the game. This is for Fighter, Tector, and Gunner, and you can see if you just change your class to Fighter, or you change your class to Gunner, or you change your class to Tector, it's going to clear one of these tasks automatically, which will give you Hextra Wand and Talus, or Hextra Rifle and Machine Gun, or the 3 different fighter weapons for Hextra as well if you play fighter, with the dagger, the saber, and the knuckles. Now, the way that some of these tasks work is they want you to kill 1,500 enemies with the specific class, and it'll actually give you an augmentation success rate plus 20% booster. So you're going to get 3 different boosters as long as you do this on all 3 classes. I definitely suggest you all to go out there and do this week, or during the campaign period actually. You have until October 3rd to do this, so you got plenty of time. But this just got added this week, so make sure that you all work on this. And you can see if you get your classes all the way up to level 60 as well, that you get this really cool looking icon for the build part too, which is like the fighter level up, gunner level up, and the Tector level up. And at the end of this as well, if you do all the different classes, if you complete the designated limited tasks for the fighter, gunner, and Tector, you also get 100 star gems as well as 3 beta reactors, which is 300k Basetta. So it's quite worth doing this. So definitely make sure you all get out there and do this. You can just run the limited time quest with these classes too. And inside of the limited time quest, you'll actually get a lot of enemy kills. It's really easy, really simple. I probably wouldn't even bother using the Hextra weapons inside the limited time quest though. I would just use the actual like seasonal event quest weapon, and that's going to make things really easy for you. Now we also have like another grip of like seasonal quest like tasks through here and stuff too. So you can just kind of go and browse through here and see there's different like various tasks that we're going to have throughout the month of October. Some of them are going to be like acquiring Genesis points, and some of them are going to give you like seasonal point farms for like gold trim sword 2 and armor 2 and stuff. So enhancing your gear is going to be a little bit easier. So there's definitely a lot of nice limited time tests to check out this time around. And these are actually really good. So this week, SEGA added something to the SG shop. So if you open up your menu and you go down to the bottom right, the little shopping cart icon here, and then you go to ACSG shop and then the SG shop, you can see up here at the very top, there's an item pack that they added, and this is going to last until September 26th. It's right before that SG support scratch comes. So I would honestly, I would just suggest saving your SG for the SG support scratch coming up September 27th. But this has actually got some pretty nice stuff inside of here, because if you look, this actually comes with a HAL Finale S capsule, which means you can pass HAL Finale at 100% with just the one capsule. And as well, it also comes with a Mastery 4S capsule, which will pass at 100% too. So that's some pretty good value there. Unfortunately, it's just the EXP boosters, 24-hour EXP boosters, 50% times 3 that you get from the pack. You can buy like 3 of this as well, so you can actually get 3 of those HAL Finale S and 3 of those Mastery S, which would be a pretty hefty cost of 700 star gems each, would be 2100 star gems total. But those HAL Finale S, it's pretty nice having that at 100% pass, right? Myself, I just prefer to just try to YOLO those, or the ones that you get from LC are actually really valuable anyways. You get those for free, and they're just slightly weaker than these. So I don't really know how much I would suggest getting this or not, but it is here just in case if that's something that you're interested in. It's a pretty nice capsule. I'm not a big fan of the 24-hour boosters. I really hate that SEGA puts these 24-hour boosters in the game, because it makes you feel inclined to play the game for 24 hours non-stop, because you can't put a pause on your boosters, right? The moment you pop that booster, if you log off the game, that booster time's still ticking. I feel like if they're gonna have 24-hour boosters in the game, there should be a pause feature, or when you're logged off of the game, it shouldn't be ticking time or something, right? Because I feel like that's just promoting unhealthy gameplay, and I think that's not good. But this is here just in case if that's something that you're all interested in. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I do play crazy like 24 hours too, but I hate feeling inclined to do that. You know, I just don't think that's healthy to suggest to people. So this week we do have an Arks record ranking going on. Now if you open up your menu and go to personal and then down to Arks record, random challenge record, you can see right here it's going to be Dreisen plant board stage 1. Now you can go out here and just do one run of this and you're going to get yourself Arks record badge times 20 bronze participation reward. Depending on how you do, if you try to run it and go really good, you can possibly get silver or gold. But regardless, you could do the worst run possible and you're going to get your clear for the Arks record badge times 20. So make sure you at least run it one time and complete it. That way so you get your rewards, so you can get your star gems and stuff weekly. And you can actually do this per ship too. If you have characters on multiple ships, I would definitely suggest going out there and trying to hit this on each ship. That way so you'll get yourself a bronze reward on each ship and you can get your star gems on other ships that you don't normally play on, and then on your main ship you can just use your badges for like other useful stuff inside the shop, like Arms Refiner 2 or camos or whatever else they might add in the future. It's good to stock up the badges on your main ship while you just get the star gems on your off ship that you don't normally play on. Now the way that you would find this, if you open up your map, you can see it's right here, the Dreisen Plant 2 Ryuker is where that you would find this, and it's going to be this terminal right here in front of the Ryuker. This is where you would actually start the race from this thing. Okay, so we do have a new AC scratch that got added this week, and this is going to be the Moonlight Sanctuary 23. And this actually has some pretty nice items inside of here. There's some pretty cool stuff inside the scratch bonus too, in case if you want to scratch on it. There's a paper plane EX, which has a little sparkles coming off of it. There's actually just a normal version of this without the sparkles inside of the scratch that you can purchase from Aseta or sell in the player shops. Unfortunately, these are account bound when it comes to the ones that you get from the scratch bonuses, so you can't actually purchase these or sell them. So even if you didn't like them, you're stuck with them if you do scratch. Now when it comes to the prize listing, there's actually some pretty nice stuff inside of the scratch. There's some pretty cute little like outfits and stuff in here. I did want to point out real quickly for you thick characters out there, check out what my character looks like with this Hayori. Now I actually really love these Hayoris. They look incredible. I love the designs on them and everything, but it looks like a parachute. I can't use this. It's completely poofed out and it's just useless for me. It's just way too big. I wish that SEGA would address the characters better, because like even if you adjust your slider for the waist slider, it still makes it to where this thing's poofed out like a parachute. So it's just completely unusable for my character, unfortunately, which is a shame because I really like the design of the outfit. It's just it just doesn't look right at all for me. That's something that I hope that they'll address in the future. They need to give every style of character some love when it comes to these outfits so they work right for everybody. Maybe that's just really hard for them to implement. I don't know. But when it comes to the rest of these outfits in here, I did want to mention a friend of mine recently started doing YouTube, and she's been covering showcases for outfits, showing what different colors of the outfits change, because all these different outfits in here, they all have different color parts that change depending on the outfit type that you have. So they've been showing what colors will change on that. It's my friend Coroni. I'm going to leave a link in the video description below to Coroni's YouTube, so you can go check them out. And they'll probably have this AC Scratch showcase later in the next day or two or so. They've been trying to cover it each week now, so definitely go check it out and show her some love. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for the update info this week. I'm going to end the video off with some gameplay I did on the new LTQ, just to let you see what it's like. But before we go through that, I'm curious, what do you all think of the update this week? Myself, I'm really happy they added seasonal markers on the enemies in Leciel. Those event weapons at plus 70 are going to give everyone a much easier time clearing Leciel. But please let me know what you all think down in the comments below. Speaking of which, likes, comments, and subscribing is a free way that you can help my channel grow, reaching a larger audience. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and have a wonderful day, friends. I'll see you all in the next one. I hope you all enjoy the LTQ gameplay.